Number 15. Fire tornado. What's scarier than a regular tornado? No, I'm not talking about a sharknado. The fire tornado often appears as a whirlwind of flame and/or ash. The fire turns into this super evil twister when a combination of powerful heat and wind produce spinning eddies of air, which create a vortex, much like a tornado, that pull in combustible gases and flaming debris. This deadly combination forms an intense and dangerous tornado. Most so-called fire tornadoes, however, are simply fire whirls which, as we mentioned, involve a spinning pocket of air and a fiery core reaching up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 1,090 degrees Celsius and containing winds of sometimes 160 kilometers per hour. They can uproot trees and other burning materials, spreading the fire quickly over acres. Several fire whirls have been caught on camera, but one of the most deadly fire whirls in history was not caught on camera. It occurred in Japan's Great Kanto earthquake of 1923. The earthquake caused a huge firestorm, igniting a terrible fire whirl that, in 15 minutes, took the lives of 38,000 people in Tokyo. Needless to say, fire tornadoes can be deadly. Steer clear of the combination. Number 14. Sundog. If you're not familiar with that term, it's also called a mock sun. The sundog appears when bright spots appear on either side of the sun and often form a 22 degrees halo, like the fire rainbow. Sundogs are the result of light being caught in the atmospheric ice crystals, which act like prisms, bending the light. The patches of light that occur to either side of the sun at this angle are on the same altitude as the sun over the horizon. Unlike fire rainbows, sundogs occur everywhere in the world during all times of the year, but they are most obvious to spot when the sun is right above the horizon. Again, similar to fire rainbows, sundogs are red in the arc towards the sun and gray to colors orange and blue. The colors, however, are not bright or pure, and they often merge into white. Sundogs are not unique to this planet. They also occur on Mars, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and Jupiter. Sundogs have been recorded throughout history. Even way back in Aristotle's time, he wrote in his notes that 2 mock suns rose with the sun and followed it all through the day until sunset. He also noted that the mock suns appeared always to the side of the sun, most often during sunset or sunrise. What is the cause? As usual, ice crystals. Now you know. Number 13. SpaceX Falcon 9. When a strange phenomena appeared in the sky above LA in December of 2017, the rocket had many people jumping for their smartphones and cameras in order to capture the strange phenomena in the sky. Apparently, Elon Musk didn't warn Californians that SpaceX would launch a rocket from Vandenberg Air Force Base on the 22nd of December, because dozens of YouTube videos can be found online with viewers audibly wondering what the streak of light in the night sky could be, or maybe they just weren't paying attention, likely the latter. The liftoff of the Falcon 9 rocket could be seen all across Southern California, stretching all the way to Arizona, standing 70 meters tall. The Falcon launched parallel to the Southern California coast, south over the Pacific right after sunset, and did its duty, sending 10 commercial Iridium communication satellites into orbit. The striking light in the sky that so many viewers caught on camera was the rocket's exhaust plume. While this spectacle in the sky was obviously pre-planned and controlled, that didn't stop viewers from exclaiming that the world was about to end. I guess that's just the Hollywood-infused drama coming out in us all. Number 12. 2 suns. Have you ever spotted 2 suns in the sky? Martin Mickhouse did on January 13th of this year, and he published this video 2 days later. He writes, "Something very strange is going on in recent years in the atmosphere on the planet." He goes on to say that people around the world are photographing and filming this strange phenomena, as he did with his 2 suns, and was wondering what could possibly be happening. In the footage, taken by Sean Christopher Roach, He zooms in to capture what does appear to be two suns peeking from behind the clouds. One looks to be the normal sun, while a second ghost sun is behind and a little to the right. A bit duller. He says, quite frankly, that it's not a lens glare. Some in the comments section say they've seen something similar in the past. Others question whether it's the end of days, and still others wonder why NASA isn't doing their job in investigating this, but I think a commenter probably has it right when saying this strange phenomena in the sky is just the moon. Do you think this footage is unusual, or do you agree with the theory that it's just the moon? Number 11. Cloud falling from the sky. Reset TV captured and published this in August of 2011 when this strange cloud appeared to be falling to Earth. In the description, the YouTuber writes, "A really weird cloud falling from the sky and two strange lights behind it. The footage shows what does appear to be a cloud, or at least a cloud-like substance, floating past the fence, obviously quite close to Earth. It's twisting and turning as it floats low in the sky, and then it is seen slowly gliding to the Earth, where it lands and bounces off a nearby fence. The cloud seems to collapse a little, and part of it breaks off and floats out of sight. The wind lifts it off the ground, and the cloud is stuck in the fence, while the substance breaks up a bit. The men filming the cloud get out of their vehicle to take a closer look. One puts his hand into the cloud. You can see the substance is somewhat transparent, and the man's hand is still visible, though a bit fuzzy. He swirls it around in there and appears to be patting out a spot in the cloudy substance. Well, it's pretty clear that this is not a cloud. I'm not sure what it could be. Many in the comments have some suggestions though. Some say it's sea foam, others say it's some form of pollution. Whatever it is, I'd steer clear of that substance. It might just be radioactive. Number 10. Kelvin Helmholtz clouds. Have you ever seen clouds that look like waves? Like these? Well, that unusual phenomena is due to Kelvin Helmholtz instability, named after Lord Kelvin and Hermann von Helmholtz. These visual waves happen when a single fluid, or the meeting of two fluids, contain a velocity shear. What's that? Well, one example of a velocity shear is when wind blows across water. The instability of the water trembles and creates waves. This is an instability. Clouds, which are also water vapor that is, can manifest this instability as well. When the Kelvin Helmholtz instability occurs in clouds, it's called fluctus. These unstable cloud layers are studied in plasma physics, and some on YouTube have caught these strange visual phenomena on tape, likely not knowing what the cause was. Well, now you know. Number 9. The mothership. The sky churns up some crazy things, lightning, tornadoes, but when it appears like the mothership has come to hover over the planet Earth, it can be quite concerning. That's what a YouTuber allegedly captured in December of 2013. The sky above appears to be dark and cloudy, perhaps a hint of storm is a brewing. But what's scariest is the double ring of light that appears in the midst of all this darkness. The 30-second video is taken while driving, and despite looking like the mothership, nothing appears to be descending to Earth. So I guess this is just some strange phenomena that we'll never quite know or understand. We can't rule out the possibility of editing effects either, so that may be the explanation of this phenomenon. You never know. Number 8. Red Fiery UFO. Planet X published this footage in January of 2018, writing, "Crazy footage of what appeared to be a red fiery object flying through our skies." The video shows a tiny red dot in the sky that does appear to be opening and closing. Many in the comments section of the video said they too had seen something similar. Some said they thought it was just the sun, but then it got bigger and bigger. Others wondered if it could be a portal of some kind. What do you think it is? Should we be concerned? Or is this red blinking light just another natural phenomena that can be explained away with science? Number 7. Floating figure. YouTuber Jay Lewis published this strange sky sighting in July of 2016. In his description he writes, encounter out my side window north of the city at 5:20 p.m. and at 5:30 p.m. it suddenly disappeared. It was in the sky for more than 15 minutes. I do not know how long it was there before I started filming it. The strange creature in the sky appears to have a dark head with floating legs blowing in the breeze. This raised questions across the internet as to what this thing was. It appeared much like a Dementor from the Harry Potter series. This led most to believe it was a kite. Others noted that you couldn't see a string, however. Other theories were extraterrestrial and paranormal, though nothing was ever confirmed. Whatever this thing is, it's giving me the creeps. Number 6. Blue light. Jeff Needham uploaded this crazy sighting in the sky in September of 2015. At first, the blue streak appears to be a comet, but further into the video, its lines spread out and the streaks appear to form a loopy outline, somewhat in the shape of a Pringle. The comet-like spot stops moving, and all that is left in the sky is the blue trace of the form. Well, Jeff believes it to be a comet. It doesn't look like any comet I've ever seen. Does anyone care to venture other guesses on what this strange phenomena might be? Otherwise, we may never know what this was. Number 5. UFO monolith triangle cloud. YouTuber Yellow King Filmboy published this video in March of 2017, writing, "Spotted in Florida, this eerie pyramid cloud UFO hangs in the sky." The footage captures an entire minute of this strange monolith hanging at a distance. Just over the horizon, there's a seascape below and clouds above. Then, about a minute in, the monolith slowly begins to rise up into the clouds. What is this thing? Well, most on the list can be explained. This is one that's unexplainable. Could it be paranormal, a UFO, or simply a trick of the light? What is it? You decide. Number 4. Norwegian spiral anomaly. In December of 2009, a strange phenomena appeared in the skies of both Norway and Sweden, a phenomena that became known as the Norwegian spiral anomaly. The spiral, which appeared in the sky for 10 minutes, has been described as a blue beam of light with a grayish spiral emanating from one end. Some say the blue light appeared as though it was emanating from behind a mountain, where it paused in the sky and began to spiral out. A month prior, the same thing had occurred, but it was much less pronounced. Needless to say, locals tied up the phone lines, as they called, into the Norwegian Meteorological Institute to inquire about what was going on. Some thought it was a rare and unusual variant of the Northern Lights, while one Norwegian astronomer thought it was a fireball meteor, but considering how long it spiraled in the sky, he reconsidered this theory. Another theory was that a wormhole had been opened up, or that this spiral was caused by Switzerland's Large Hadron Collider, and of course you had some UFO theorists suggesting that extraterrestrial life was in our midst once again. What was the actual cause? Well, some would like to believe that the heavens are trying to hypnotize the Nordics. It's more likely that Russia was. Well, not really, but they did claim to be the cause of the visual phenomena in the sky. The Russian Defense Ministry reported that the skylights were the result of a test launch of their Russian SLBM RSM-56 Bulava missiles, both of which had failed to fly. However, some still believe the spiral was caused by something else, as they claim the spiral did not align with what would visually result from a failed missile launch. What do you think? Number 3. Fire rainbow. Well, a rainbow in the sky is certainly a stunning thing to behold. It's not all that unusual, but a fire rainbow, I bet you haven't heard of this phenomenon. A fire rainbow is also known as a circumhorizontal arc. It's a visual phenomenon that occurs when sunlight enters through a horizontal, hexagonal flat ice crystal. This may be hard to picture, but the sunlight penetrates a vertical side face of the crystal and exits through the horizontal bottom face, creating a halo effect. While called a fire rainbow, this title is a bit misinformed because it's neither a fire nor a rainbow, though it may appear like flames in the sky. The circumhorizontal arc is more commonly seen in some locations than others. In the US, for instance, it can be seen multiple times during the summer. While it is almost never seen in Northern Europe, this is because the arc requires a specific angle, and regions either south or north of 55 degrees latitudes on either side of the equator are not receptive to sunlight at this angle. Moonlight, however, sometimes does cause the arc at these latitudes, but that's a rare event because a near full moon is required. Some have caught this phenomenon in the sky on tape, often either mistaking it for a rainbow or wondering what it could possibly be. Now that we know it's light caught in ice crystals, it doesn't seem so mysterious, but it's still incredible. Number 2. UFO strobe light. Old Porch Dog published this video under the title UFO strobe light in the sky over Burbank, Washington, April 21st, 2012. In his description, he explains that he was standing outside watching the sky one night when he spotted the craziest thing he's ever seen above. He captured a few orbs on camera, along with 2 traveling beside each other. In his own words, "I hadn't realized there was 2 together until the first one faded out, and I was bringing the camera down from my eye, and there was the second one right behind the first." Although he thought this was bound to be the highlight of his footage, little did he know that things were about to get even stranger. A strobe began to show in the sky. Although nothing visible was creating the strobe, an airplane was in the area, but it hadn't arrived at where the strobe appeared. The YouTuber wrote, "I was so mystified at what I was seeing that I just held the camera up and pointed it in the general area that this happened and just hoped that I caught it on film." To his surprise, he did capture it. He explained that when the plane was headed towards the strobe, he assumed perhaps there was another plane that he couldn't see that was causing the strobe. But after zooming in close on the plane, the sky flashed and he swiveled his camera to capture the strobe. But the light had shifted from the south to the east, which he estimated had to have been hundreds of miles apart. However, he was too zoomed in from trying to capture the plane to get a good shot of the second strobe. After spending years looking for satellites in the night sky with his kids, this was the first time he'd spotted a strobe in the sky. He noted that if the same aircraft produced, then it must be able to travel at lightning speed to cover so much ground in the blink of an eye. Either that or 2 crafts were strobing in the sky that night. Were they UFOs? The YouTuber noted that many online have claimed to have spotted orbs, strange lights, and UFOs in the sky since the start of 2012. But that still doesn't explain what these strobes are in the sky. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. I'm currently doing a super poll on my Instagram. If you believe ghosts are real, then go to my most recent photo and tap the like button. If you don't, DM me saying why. When you're done, come right back to this video to find out the number 1 entry. Also, follow me on Twitter at YT_chills because that's where I post video updates. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person. So if you're generous enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way, you'll be notified of the new videos we upload every Tuesday and Saturday. Number 1. Strange sounds. Speaking of the end of days, Dion V. Surth published this video in May of 2015 under the title, Strange Trumpet Sounds Coming from the Sky. He wrote, "All over the world, strange booms are being heard that sound like something out of a science fiction novel. Unfortunately, no plausible explanations have emerged." Just as the title suggests, the footage showcases everything from news programs to home videos of strange sounds that seem to be coming directly from the sky. Some of these sounds are loud and bellowy like horns. Some are roaring like a lion or a drum set. Some are wavy and echoey, hitting several octaves. Some sound like they're coming straight out of a horror movie. Well, it's unclear to most what these noises might be. One YouTuber suggested the sounds were electromagnetic waves bouncing off the Earth's atmosphere. Another commenter gave a somewhat sound explanation, saying that the noises may come from acoustic gravity sounds formed in the magnetosphere from shock waves due to solar flares. Still, that didn't stop many who watched these videos from taking these strange noises as a cue to prepare for Judgment Day. Are you preparing? Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because we upload new countdowns every Tuesday and Saturday. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of our other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy!